computer.
Good morning. This is a Sunday morning in very rainy England. And I had a really difficult night. So let's call this yoga. Yoga for when you wake up and you feel like you hardly slept at all. Because maybe there were things going on in your life, whatever. So let's do something really nice that is both energizing and soothing. Does that sound okay? And it's going to be not too long. So first of all, I'd like you to, let's lie down, okay? So first of all, lying down and stretch out the hands. So stretch them up to the ceiling and rotate the wrists. And then stretch them out at an angle, rotate the wrists. Okay, good. And then stretch them out straight out 90 degrees from the shoulders, if you have room. And raise the legs up and pedal, or treadle maybe is the word, the feet backwards and forwards, like so. Okay. Relax now the shoulders. So as this part of the body, you just completely let go of the upper part of the body. Good. And then just do some lubrication work for those knee joints, because they're always needing more attention. And this is good because it's not weight bearing through the knee joint as you exercise them. And then I'd like you to swing from the hips across. Yeah, that's lovely. And then pedal like a bicycle. Very strong pedaling. Okay, and if you two have just rolled out of bed and this is too energetic, slow it right down, or do as little as you want. And then heels of the feet together, down on the floor, bring the heels of the feet a little bit higher up to the torso, stretch the arms out behind you, open out this belly area. So in the night, the internal organs here are really squashed up. So you've probably been sleeping in all sorts of interesting sleeping positions. And the major ascending, transverse, descending colon here will have got kinked up. And the small intestine here, stomach, there's major organs. They need some more room. So let's stretch, stretch, stretch with the hands, really stretch. And then stretch, stretch, stretch with the feet. So stretch them out, straighten them, point the toes. Left side, let's stretch, left toe, left fingers. Right side, let's stretch, right toe, right fingers. Lovely. Both sides together. Good. And then depending on you and how energetic or not energetic you're feeling, bend the knee, you can bend the knees, roll over and come up like so. That's the easy version, which I recommend. Or you can cross over the ankles, hold on to the toes, and massage the spine along the spine. Okay, to come up so that you're seated. Okay, and then seated, it depends how comfortable you are. Some people like to sit on a cushion a little bit higher up. Some people find, obviously the knees, it's a little bit tight or a little bit high. So you can choose either to sit like this, or sit like this, or sit like this. Just for a moment as we pause. And then roll the shoulders back. And then arms out. So your legs, your lower torso and legs, put however you like at this moment, as we just do the shoulder work. So opening up those shoulder joints. You might be able to hear the rain on the windows. This is my attic yoga room. It looks very wet out there in the Peak District this morning with lots of clouds flying by and not a glimpse of blue sky. But it's Derbyshire, so it could be completely different in 20 minutes. And then, rotate. So, as you know, with most of these yoga movements, you don't have to do them in your yoga session. You can do them when you're waiting for the kettle to boil, when you're waiting for something on the stove to cook. You can still begin to lubricate your joints as much as you feel able. Okay, good. And then shoulder blades together at the back. I'm beginning to feel more awake already. And then coming up to standing, okay? So standing on comfortably on your mat. If you think you need blocks, have some nearby. I'll just grab a few. Okay. So have them nearby. This is not for beginners, the blocks. The blocks are for beginners, intermediate, and advanced, helping us do the pose. So let's stand in the mountain, nice and steady, the feet underneath the hips. And right underneath that joint, so not as wide as these hips, but underneath that joint. And then even weight through the feet, drop the hands, and just watch that you're not standing in all sorts of interesting shapes, but more shoulders back, front open, tailbone tucked under, hands hanging, chin not down nor up, just steady, and opening out the backs of these vertebrae here. 7 cervical vertebrae, nice and stacked evenly. They're quite delicate, and in yoga we're always protecting them. So pause, close the eyes. This is the mountain pose, Tadasana. Steady, immovable, unshakable. And we use this pose as an interim pose when we're standing. We use it as a pose to become emotionally steady, stable. We ground deep into the very core of the earth, like a mountain, like Mount Everest. Feel your weight go many, many miles into the earth. And if your ankles are collapsing inwards, adjust. If they're collapsing outwards, adjust them inwards. So that's called pronating the ankle joint. So just getting a feeling of steadying out on the ankle joint. Okay, lovely. So next, because it will really wake me up, is bend the knees. And remember, when we bend the knees, we bend them over the second toe. So we don't bend them out, that damages the knee joint. We bend them in a right angle because this knee joint is actually a hinge joint. It can do this, but that damages the joint. So hinging on that knee joint down. So far down, in fact, that the calf muscles feel a little bit, okay, like so, and then the arms come up. And then we try to follow this angle, ankle to knee, with the arms, ankle to knee, so that there. And we hold the pose and we look up to where our fingers are pointing, like so. So this is a very strong pose. It uses the thighs and the calf muscle. Keep the abdominal core quite strong and the shoulders back, shoulder blades coming together but downwards. Lovely. And I'll stop talking for a minute. Stretch the arms. Drop a little lower. Breathe, breathe. Oh, enough. Breathe in, come up. And remember, always follow your own ability. If you've had enough after 2 seconds, come out. If you've had enough after 3 hours, stay there. But don't necessarily follow me, follow you, okay? So after doing that, which is a very invigorating pose, what I'd like you to do is walk your feet out quite wide. And actually, the wider you go, the better. Bring the arms up. And then breathe out, come down to one side. So rather unusually, I'm against a wall here. It's almost as though I'm just going down sideways, totally sideways one way, totally sideways the other. Okay. Lovely. So let's breathe out, breathe in, come up, stretch. Breathe out. Breathe in, come up, stretch. Breathe out, go down. Keep this top shoulder back. Breathe in, stretch, pause, out into star pose. 6 limbs, head, tailbone, 2 arms, 2 legs. And again, it's not just to there, it's as though you're reaching that bit further. And the toes are going slightly outwards at 10 o'clock. For me, this is 12 o'clock in the front, 2 o'clock. Okay, and the chin isn't down, you're up. Just steady. Close the eyes, stretch. Big star, like a starfish. Breathe. And then let's bring the energy down through the body. So hold the hands like you're clasping. Hold, bring together. And bring down as you come into horse stance with the knees going over that second toe. Okay. If you feel too wide, come in a little. But don't take the knee over the toes. That's why you have to go wide. Okay. And then not an easy pose again, working through the thigh, straighten the spine, drop the shoulders, relax the face. Okay, good heating pose. Burning energy through the system, cleansing, strengthening. Okay, push up onto the crown of the head. Walk the feet, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. In, shake out. Nice shake out. Relax the hands halfway. Breathe in, coming down. And we're just going to do the heart work. So focusing here, the heart center. Breathe in, open palms up to the top. Okay, breathing out, coming down. Lovely, just to there. Breathe in, open the hands, receiving. Breathe out, sending love to yourself or another, drop the shoulders. Breathe in, opening, receiving all the love in the universe that exists from one to another. Then sending through the palms strongly. And then enfolding. So arms up. And breathe out and down. Lovely, just pause there. The thumbs pressing here against the heart chakra, Anahata chakra. Resting, shoulders down. Oh, this is very nice. I'm leaning back against the wall. Nice. We don't need a wall. And then breathe out, let go. Back into the mountain. Tadasana. Check the ankle joint. Check the back of the neck. Check the shoulders and shoulder blades. Let the face, jaw, tongue relax, tongue to the base of the mouth. All around the eye socket, relax. Okay, now we're going to do a nice soothing forward bend. So I'm just coming forward because I don't want to hit the wall as I come down. Breathe in, going up, all the way up. And then breathe out, coming down. Just rest the hands somewhere comfortably on the legs, drop the shoulders. Because it's the morning, you'll be much stiffer, much stiffer. Drop the head. You could hold on to the elbows, that's quite nice. Let the knees bend a little, don't lock them. Then bend a bit further, open the arms wide and come up. We float up like a bird floating up, all the way to the top. And then we're going to do it again. Stretch the arms parallel Can't see them, but my palms are facing forward. And then breathe in, elongate from hip to pelvis. So breathe in. And then breathing out halfway. Breathe in, stretch some more forward. Yep. And breathing out, coming down. All right, lower the head. Tailbone up to the heavens. Knees slightly softly bent. Lovely forward bend. Uttanasana. Soothing, calming, emotionally uplifting, very good for low mood. Physically really good for the hamstrings, internal organs, and opening out and stretching the kidneys. Obviously opening out and stretching all the discs along the back of the spine. And if you open out the shoulder blades and bring them down lower with the shoulders, nice long stretch and opening along the back of the heart chakra. So enabling you to really feel how you feel and be kinder in your emotional level. Okay, so you can say this if you wanted to know how long, when I do this on my own, about 3 minutes is a good time. In a class, we often say a minute or two. And as you do it, you'll feel you can go a little bit further, a little bit deeper. But obviously, if you feel dizzy, if you feel unhappy in this pose, come out of it protected, and you come out of it by bending the knees. Come out of it safely, bend the knees. Okay, let's do that now, bend the knees. And it's like I'm in a low squat, okay? Very low squat. And I use my thigh muscles rather than my back. So this is what's working to bring me up. They push me up, open out, back into star. And I feel dizzy because I have low blood pressure. So for a moment, feeling a little bit dizzy. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Open out in Tai Chi. It's the third Dantian here. Opening that out. So it's not concentrated, tangled energy, but it can actually move. And then breathe out. Coming down with arms. When you're ready, shake the arms out a bit. Good. And then we'll come down to, if you can kneel, do. If you find kneeling difficult, I suggest that you put a block between the legs to sit on the block, or even 2 blocks. Okay. So, you can go up as high as you can. The important thing with these poses is that you're comfortable. So if you go into a pose and you're feeling, oh, everything here is aching and hurting, then it will stop the energy that we're trying to adjust and balance. So we usually use a prop to just help the system settle. So from there, we're just going to do a gentle twist. If you could raise, let's mirror you, let's raise, or let's do the left hand. Yeah, and then take it over to the right thigh. Take your right hand back behind you. If you're on a block, you can hold on to the block at the back, and then extend from the crown of the head as though you're being lifted upward and turning around. Okay, so we turn around from the torso, moving it slowly, and I tend to breathe in, extend upwards, and breathe out, move a bit more round. Breathe in, extend from the crown, and breathe out, moving a bit more round. Until I'm more or less at my maximum. And then my head, I try to look into my peripheral vision, even further round, so that those neck vertebrae turn. And of course, we don't want the chin to come up and turn, because it will tighten the neck vertebra together at the back, as well as twist them, which is not a good idea. So just taking them round. And the discs in between the vertebrae nice and even and level. Okay, and when you're at your maximum, just breathing into that, because in this pose we're stretching the spleen on the left side, and we're giving an extra opening and stretch to the kidney, whilst compressing the left side of the transverse colon and some compression onto the descending colon. So that's what's happening on that side. On the right side, we are compacting the right kidney. So actually kind of moving it into a smaller shape so that when we release from the pose, it's going to imbibe around it. The cells in it are going to open. So it's like we're wringing it out, a little squeeze and then an opening to rejuvenate it. And some compression here and opening here on the ascending colon, and a stretch across the small intestines. The liver is being stretched on this right side. Okay, breathing out, coming round, back to the front. And then just pause a moment. So what many people don't understand with yoga is that we are doing, like acupuncture or Tai Chi, we're doing very specific poses where points are closing, opening, stretching, and we need to stay in that pose. When we come out of it, we don't want to suddenly do something else. We want to allow that to just settle a moment, let it happen, let the good work happen within the body. No rush. And then let's do the same the opposite side. So let's take our right hand over to the outside of our left thigh, and then round to the back. And then lift from the crown of the head, and then breathe out, turning round. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, turn some more. And just check you're not holding the shoulders up too high. And really opening across that left chest here. And then turning the head a little bit more. And so you can feel probably internally what's happening. You've got your spleen on the left side now compressing. We'd opened it before, we're now compressing. We're also twisting the descending colon here. Liver across here is getting interesting pull across along with the transverse colon. And again, we've got a lovely small intestine stretch, some stomach stretch. And the kidney on this side is being pulled open as you turn right round to the left. And I don't know whether you noticed, but well, you probably didn't because you're in the pose, but my chin was way too down. So just take my chin up, align it around. And we try, if possible, if we can, to do the same amount of time on one side as on the other. But with poses where you're really comfortable, there's no harm in hanging around. If you're happy, at home you have time. Okay, I'm breathing out, coming round to the front, pausing for a moment, resting the thighs on the hands on the thighs. And normally I don't have two blocks here, but actually, you know, this is really comfy. I could do the cushion on top. My sitting bones are saying, oh, block is a bit hard. That's really comfy through the knee joint. So what we never want to do is we want to, if that knee joint is playing up, we never want to put it under undue strain. So shoulders back, shoulder blades together, drop shoulders, drop the chin a little, just to there, crown of the head lifting. So the easy kneeling pose. Allow the breathing to return to normal. Lovely. And relax into the pose. And from here, we could actually do another side stretch. So if you wish, you could bring your knees in a little and arms out into the cross. You all right? Yeah. And then coming down. Breathe in, lift, 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 as though I can't try to reach something. And then on the next out breath, stretch, as though again, the thing you're trying to reach is really out of reach, out of reach, out of reach, and down you go. Lovely. And if you're thinking, what's the tricky bit here? Tricky bit here is most people start bringing that shoulder forward to get down further. Just keep it above this left hip. Okay, line upwards with the left hip. And over we go. And of course you could go even further if you take your arm out a little, and you'll feel that incredible side stretch on the left side. Deepening that, making that stronger. Breathing, looking forward or looking up. But remember, protect the neck vertebra. No weird twisting where you're squashing discs. Then breathing in, arm up. That's probably a relief. Push with your base hand. Come up and down the other side. Breathe in, lengthen. Over we go. Yay. And I presume you can feel that long, long stretch along there. I love the stretches, and it's a shame we don't do them enough. And again, if you want to go deeper, you can by moving the hand away, keeping in line, up and over. And you can look up, as long as you don't take the chin back, as long as you keep the back of this neck vertebra. You can visualize them. There are 7 of them, you're just turning them. Yeah. So you'll feel this lovely stretch. Rib cage to pelvis is opening up a lot. That's the ascending colon here, nice long stretch, opening around the kidney. Okay, just lifting that and opening. And the more you take a right hand, the more you take that right hand further over, and push that right hip downward, the more beautiful and beneficial the stretch. But again, only do what you feel comfortable with. And usually in yoga, I say to people who are beginning, pull back by 30% so that you don't feel overstretched tomorrow. Oh, lovely. Breathing, come up, push with the hand, up you come, breathe in, hands up, breathe out to the heart. Pause for a moment. So because I said it was a short session, we'll end there for today. But if you have more time, it would be nice to now lay down in corpse pose, have a complete still rest. Or if you had time, you might want to do a forward bend from here, coming right down and forward. Or you might like to lie on your front, do a cobra, if you know how to do the cobra, and maybe do the swan, the long kneeling forward stretch. So think about those. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.